Welcome to Sports Leadership Topic 2D Part 3, where we continue talking about shared leadership. There are some challenges for leadership in sport and recreation. In general, organisational leadership is trying to come to grips with the fact that sport is professional, yet there's still a huge element of amateurism within it. There are also enormous expectations of all the people who are involved. It's very resource dependent. There's a lot of money that's required, a lot of public goodwill, a lot of, open area in order to play sport, as well as a number of rules that have to be followed for international bodies. You have to balance high performance and participation, and the two are really hard to manage together. There are many stakeholders who are involved, and I'd say probably nearly every person in a community feels they have a stake in a particular sport, and there are very conflicting and competing roles that organisations have to turn a profit, yet they're often not-for-profit organisations. This creates some real difficulties in balancing power, balancing responsibility and authority in leadership in sports organisations. So with shared leadership, there are some key concepts of sharing that we need to look at, because leadership is both an individual and organisational thing. Organisations are charged with leadership. Shared leadership is about participation in decision making, and that's a really important concept. You can't have a shared leadership model and then have somebody decide. Shared leadership is about sharing power, and that means that nobody gets the status, or either no one does or everyone does. There isn't anything flash that one person gets above anyone else. And shared leadership is about collaborating and not having an ego. So if we think about a continuum of involvement, which is much like Tannenbaum and Schmidt's model, but you go from being told, so where everybody is involved in the decision making, so never mind in the whole process, let's just think about making this decision. We start with being told to being asked, to helping shape the design, so actually collaborating, to co-leading design, so it's not actually about a difference in decision making, it's about everybody in together, to everybody driving design, which is quite a different way of focusing, that everyone is responsible equally for the organisation. That makes quite a difference as to how you approach everything that you do. So Henry and Lee came up with a networked model for shared leadership, where we start with a head office. We have, say, our warehouse or our store place. We do a bit of manufacturing. We've got some branches, and we have our marketing, say, but all those things are even, that everybody is at the same level as everybody else. And with that kind of model, you'll end up with collaboration, because people can work across the models to each other. You end up with power sharing, where no one branch or area of the business is more important than the others. You create this idea of co-ownership, of partnering, and of participation, which is what drives this model really well. There are some challenges with shared leadership though, and those challenges are that the leader, or the person who would like to be the leader, can't be anymore. They can't take that role, else where you just can't get the trappings of leadership that goes with it. You have to share everything through the group, and if you are at all ego bound, you're going to find yourself getting very bruised by other people saying, well, there's a better way. There are lots of logistical challenges. What happens when new people come in or people leave? How do you make this flow in the long term? Because one person could overturn it. And have a think about what other things might actually arise.